I tried to put the book in a convenient place, and of course it wasn't convenient to find. So here it is. Here's the Obsessed book. I'm going to have to go find an Enterprise question now. These are pages, not years. Oh man, come on. Alright, here we go. Here's some Bacula action. And this does set it back into Season 1. So, alright, let's see what we have going on here. So, here we go. Random page Enterprise-related questions today. We're going to do the whole page. Is it Paragon 2? So this was the episode right at the end of the first season of Enterprise where, I think, I'm probably wrong. I don't think I'm wrong, but so they take a shuttle in and there's someone sabotaged the shuttle and then it blows up it doesn't blow up, but it destroys the entire planet based on what they did. And it's a real serious episode and I like it a lot. Yeah, it has to be the season 1 cliffhanger. Oops, I promised I wouldn't see the rest of the questions here. And then we're trying to figure out who's responsible for the destruction. And this is temporal Cold War stuff. So damn. I'm just going to say the Suliban for short, but because later a Suliban sabotages engineering only so the cascade effect doesn't destroy the whole thing. And I don't know. It's the timey-wimey stuff that I don't think was thought through, but it ends on a big finale where Earth is destroyed, and that leads into Season 2, where we do the thing and the thing and the thing and the thing. But as far as drama goes, it was good. I still love watching Enterprise, and I'll go back to it again and again and again. So I'm going to blame the Suliban for initially doing this. Now I'm going to think about how the end of that first season went. I look forward to the answers on those. So the thing with this book, we move over here to Big Question. Now, copyright infringement is not intended here. I'm criticizing or giving commentary on the questions as we do it. I don't want to steal the whole page of the book, but we're learning a little bit. Crew continued to run the various factions, temporal Cold War. So they're trying to. Chip Carter here is trying. The author of this book is doing his best or her best to explain the temporal Cold War. Important. I almost said font. So Silic and the Suliban and Daniel, so you can read about that. That's temporal Cold War. And the question we want here is, what century did Archer get trapped in at the end of Shockwave Part 1? All right, so this gets back to the time I had to use a calculator to add 900 years to something. And I'm still embarrassed by that. We go to the 29th century at the end of Shockwave Part 1. Hey, they novelized this book too. I've read it, and I have no recall of the novelization. So yeah, we at the end of Shockwave Part 1, we end up in 29th century, which is where Daniels comes from, which is that end of the temporal Cold War. Now, they do their best to address the temporal Cold War in Discovery Season 3. Because you have to acknowledge it, even though it's a good idea, but it's tough to do a whole temporal Cold War in your series, and that's why it was never quite explored. Okay, so it's 29th century on that. We'll get back to that later at the end here. The Suliban space stations. I'm going to call them helixes because the little Suliban shuttles are mini helixes and they link together and they become this huge Lego in space, right? That's how their space stations are put together. Well, I kind of already get it. So yeah, piece of the action, another TOS episode. So McCoy leaves his communicator on the planet. This was the Chicago Mobs of the 20s episode in TOS. And I don't have the book downstairs. It's upstairs, so I can't quite do the edit. But I think it came out in 1988. It's called Worlds of the Federation, and they have a section on Sigma Iota 2, which was the mobster planet. where because they left the communicator on the planet, the planet has become a Federation communications outpost. Because the thing about this whole planet, the people on it seem to, I don't know, really be are influenced easily. So you receive a book on Chicago mobs of the 20s, and then you become a mobster culture. You get a Federation or Starfleet communicator, and then suddenly you can become a communications hub in the 24th century. Now that's non-canonical. I don't know if other novels have touched on what's going on the planet. Now the post Enterprise novelizations do see the disappearance of the Horizon after visiting Sigma Iosha 2. And in fact, one episode, I think it's called Horizon, it's where Mayweather goes back on the ship he grew up in. In the background, there's a copy of Chicago Mobs of the 20s. Not a real book, mind you. Anyway, Reed leaves his communicator on a planet. Now, I don't know why we're not getting the name of the episode, but because I can't remember it, but it's all right. But the thing is, they have to go back to the planet to get the communicator, and then, of course, hilarity ensues. All right. The Andorian military force is known, of course, as the Imperial Guard. Imperial Guard. Survey says? No? Okay. Susice Plakson. I hope I'm saying that right. She deserves a... she's going to be in the source wall if she hasn't been already. I can't remember the Andorian officer she played, but she played an Andorian... I'm gonna go Talas. I'm gonna say C. That was her name. Talas. Because the others, well, we know. Hey, hi, we know Shran. Yeah, Talas. She's my answer for that one. Man, I'm just loving so much Enterprise. It was, they were still working from a TNG aesthetic, and that aesthetic changed with Battlestar, right? And you still see, I still think we're in the Battlestar aesthetic, even though it's been since 2003, but you can see a lot of the Battlestar aesthetic in most sci-fi now. And what I mean by Battlestar aesthetic versus TNG aesthetic, here's my theory on that. TNG aesthetic, just the kind of the camera's not moving much, static shots, a lot of just over two shots, nothing special for sci-fi. One could argue that Joss Whedon's Buffy influenced that, but I'm going to put Buffy outside of sci-fi here. I'm talking about space stuff. And I'd argue that TNG aesthetic runs all the way to Stargate Atlantis. I find Stargate Atlantis to be the end of the TNG aesthetic. And then, overlapping at the same time from 2003, you have Battlestar and most of the new series that followed it. Now, Battlestar obviously has influences from, Black Hawk Down. That's the biggest influence that it's drawn from, just in its style and its look. But I think most of the sci-fi you saw after Battlestar, including Stargate Universe, for example, are bringing in that verite realism. And we're still seeing that somewhat today, even when we watch... No, maybe we're not. I'll have to think on that. I see it in Discovery, but I think Discovery's more influenced by the Abrams movies. And that because they were still producing those and whatever legal entanglements they had going on there. So I would... now my argument's complicated because now I'm seeing the Abrams movies as, let's just call it the lens flare aesthetic of sci-fi, which you do see in early Discovery, in the first 2 seasons of Discovery at least. I'm not noticing it much in seasons 3 and 4. I digress. Maybe I'll do my entire episode just on Trek and sci-fi aesthetics. Why did I start talking about this? I cannot remember. Her name was Talus. Okay. That's the magic of the Springboard. Thanks for still being here. You never know where it's going to go. Who was sent to the Rura Penthe? Yes, Archer was sent to Rura Penthe. I don't know the episode. It probably is an episode that didn't need to be made. I know it was trying to do the let's do some Star Trek 6 stuff. I don't know if the episode lands, but it seemed to. Well, you had to do your 20 episodes each season, or 23, or whatever amount. So yeah, we did that. And they did the trial and everything. It was just let's just call it an homage because it could be nothing else. All right, I'm running out of. Star Trek alien made an untroubled cameo in the episode The Breach. Untroubled. I feel like I don't get it. Let's see. Oh, so it's a tribble? No. I'm going to go with Denebian Slime Devil. Don't know why, but I remember that was a TOS reference all the time, but I think Phlox discusses it some maybe. Oh, I'm confusing Denebian Slime Devil with a regular bloodworm. Denebian Slime Devil was an insult used in Troubles with Tribbles. And I don't even remember what The Breach is about as an episode. Okay, this kind of stumps me. So I'm still going to stick with C. We await. That's it. Okay. Now what we're going to do is without... Sorry you like that. That embarrassed even me. Alright, since I don't have a lot of room here, so these are the answers. And the nice thing about the dot cam is I can go flip. And now I can look down. So question 1232, answer time, was about the destruction of that planet. And I said Suliban, C are the ones that did it. And yes, 1232 is C. The next question was the big one, and I said 29th century. Oh, there were options down here at the bottom. And it was 29th, 31st, 32nd, or 40th. And 29th century, that was A. I'm wrong? 31st century? Huh. Why am I... Okay. Well, what's the 29th century? Why is that stuck in my head? Maybe I'm thinking of the Voyager two-parter with Sarah Silverman where the time agents come from the 29th. Perhaps that's my fault. So it's 31st. Well, I thought 31st century is where they're now at in Discovery. Is that just like immediately following the temporal Cold War we saw in Enterprise? As I ask my question out into the ether. So it's 31st. I'm wrong. 1234. We're back to the Suliban space stations, and I called them helixes A. 1234 is A, the helixes. 1235, piece of the action. D, the communicator, is lost on the planet. 1235 is D. 1236 is the Imperial Guard, C. Yes. 1237 is the, so Susice Plakson, I'm going to say her name was Talus, which was C. 1237. And it was not. Damn. It was Tarah, Tarah. Huh. All right, then. I stand corrected. 1238 was the Rura Penthe, and that was Archer. That was B and B. And now here's a 1239 that I knew I was stumped on, even though I missed two of these out of the bunch already. I'm sorry. I can't do this without you seeing my bald head. I hope it's not as shiny as in previous episodes, but this was the cameo stuff, and I was like, okay, Danubian Slime Devil, which was option C, and I am incorrect. It was just a treble. Hence the okay, so yeah, I should have thought that one through. The untroubled, quote unquote. I don't yeah. Okay. Well, there's the fun. There's the fun. So, recap for today. We got some Enterprise trivia, and I went over my theory of Star Trek aesthetics, which I'm sure impressed no one. But it's my geek out. So, all right, that's what we're gonna do for today. And as always, to be continued. Yeah, here we go.